Hello everyone and welcome to my draft analysis for the SBC Pyroar Division. The SBC have let me join their Pyroar Division. The Pyroar Division is a draft league played in the VGC format. This is my first time playing a VGC draft league as I normally play singles. However, in Generation 9, singles has a lot of broken things going on at the moment. So I thought this would be the best option. I always like to do this at the start of each generation to get to know the new Pokemon. So we're going to jump straight into it and look at what we managed to pick up. So before we do that though, the way that this draft works is we get 110 points to draft 11 Pokemon. So first up, we drafted Garchomp. Garchomp is an excellent choice because it gets access to a great move pool. It has a high attack stat and high speed stat, making it a very offensive threat. Its typing of Dragon Ground is also very good. Sandveil we won't be using too much, but Rough Skin may be useful against Mousehold, if Mousehold shows up. This cost us 14 points, leaving us with 96 points. The reason why we picked up Garchomp rather than something like Shenpao is because our draft position was 5th. So not the best, not the worst, and Shenpao was in a tier where there was only 3 Pokemon, so we aren't able to get stuff like Shenpao or Grimmsnarl, so we looked at the lower tiers to see what we could get best and look for a core, which leads us onto our next mon, which is Kilowattrel. Kilowattrel is new in Generation 9. It has a high speed stat and a decent special attack stat. Its abilities are more or less all good. Wind Power is good for when you set Tailwind, it gives you that extra offensive oomph. Competitive is good against opposing Intimidates and Snarls, anything that wants to lower your stats. So it's great being paired with Garchomp, who is an offensive attacker. Another thing, it gives us a Disquake core. Now Disquake core is when you use Discharge and Earthquake to hit opposing Pokemon, and because of your Pokemon's types or abilities, the Earthquake and Discharge don't hit your own Pokemon. So you're getting maximum efficiency out of those moves. This cost us 13 points and left us with 83 points. Next we pick up Garganacl. Garganacl is my favourite Pokemon that's been added in Generation 9. And it's this really cool ability where it cannot be status and ghost attacks are halved. So a Terra Ghost Garganacl is going to be especially strong. For those that don't know, Terastallization is the gimmick of Generation 9, and you can change your Pokemon type to give it stab, or you can stack your own types to give it bonus stab. So basically an adaptability boost if you choose to Terra into your own type. You can also use it defensively to change type to avoid certain attacks. Garganacl has good attack and really good defense. It's going to be rare that we use the attack stat, mainly because its focus is like Iron Defense Body Press, same as Ferrothorn last generation. It also gets this really cool signature move that deals damage over time, and it has recovery options with the move Recover. This cost us 14 points and left us with 69 points. Nice. So next up we have Meowscarada. Now Meowscarada is fast, it's a grass type, and it has an alright attack stat. Its ability Protein also means that you get stab on any move you use because you change into the type of that move. It also has a signature move called Flower Trick that always results in a critical hit. This gives us an extra oomph in our damage and ignores things like Dondozo, Tatsugiri, anything that wants to set up defensive boosts and stuff like that, because the critical hit ignores it. This cost 13 points and left us with 56 points. Next we have Tinglu. Tinglu was picked up in order to help the survivability of Garganacl. So Festival of Ruin lowers the special attack stat of all active Pokemon. Chi-Yu and Flatomane are both very big offensive threats in VGC at the moment. Well, not VGC, but in this format that we're doing, which is Draft League VGC, but we're allowing Paradoxes and the Runus Quartet. Tinglu has great HP, attack and defense. It's going to be sticking around a long time. It also gets the move Snarl, which can stack with the special attack drops to increase survivability. Tinglu's another Pokemon that gets body press as well, so there's always that option. Now, that cost 13 points and left us with 43 points. Now next we managed to pick up Gengar. Gengar is a Ghost Poison type. Poison's really good for dealing with fairy types. It's really fast, and well, not really fast, but it's fast. Being a 110 speed. It has really high special attack, making it a great glass cannon sweeper. Curse Body's great. It gets a great move pool, and I'm hoping that I can do it justice. 9 points for this is an absolute steal, and paying 9 points, that leaves us with 34 points. Next, we picked up Altaria. The reason for picking up Altaria is the ability Cloud9. So Cloud9 nullifies the effects of weather. So I picked this up because I was getting slightly worried about people who were trying to build weather teams, and this is my answer to that. On top of that, it's a great supportive mon with moves like Tailwind and Helping Hand. This cost 4 points and left us with 30 points. Next up we have Paldean Tauros, the Blaze form. The Blaze form has decent attack, decent defense, decent speed. It gets the ability Intimidate, which is one of the best abilities in the game, lowering attack when it switches in of the opponents. But an even more interesting point is that it gets the ability Anger Point. Now, if I pair this with Meowscarada, I can use its signature move of Flower Trick to proc that Anger Point and deal huge damage. It's a Fighting Fire type, which is a really good typing. It cost us 7 points and left us with 23 points. Next we have Azumarill. Azumarill's coming in as a Water Fairy type, which is a good type to have on a team like this for coverage. It pairs well with Garchomp. And it pairs well with the Tauros as well, actually. And even the Meowscarada, actually. Because of all the typings work and their resistances. So Azumarill stats aren't that impressive, but with the ability Huge Power, the attack stat is doubled. So, and we get access to the move Belly Drum, so if we use Belly Drum, we max out our attack stat. We get access to moves like Aqua Jet for priority. We also get fairy moves as well, which helps for our coverage. This cost 12 points and left us with 11 points to get our last two mons. Now this next Pokemon, the Elephant Copperaja. I noticed my team was lacking a Steel type, and this was one of the options on the table. It's got great HP, great attack, but all its other stats are abysmal. The ability Sheer Force boosts the attack stat. I'm interested, I haven't looked too much into this Pokemon, it was just sort of there and I picked it. And I'm interested to see how I'm going to be able to use it. Our final pick, using our final 2 points, is Impidimp. Now Impidimp is a baby Pokemon, its stats are awful, however it gets the ability Prankster. And this ability Prankster raises the priority of stasis moves. So with this I plan on setting up Light Screen, Reflect, priority parting shots as well. I also get moves like Fake Out. So while it's not going to be a heavy hitter, it's going to be great supportively if opponents don't pay it too much attention. And that concludes the draft for the Southern Jolts. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on this draft, if you think it's good, and we will have weekly uploads of the battles, hopefully. Again, this is the SBC Pyroar Division, which plays in the VGC format. I hope you all enjoyed and look forward to the battles to come.